are good cards to get, but with 7s and 8s, make the minimum bet on Card Shark. And here's the host of Card Shark, Jim Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I thank you and welcome to Card Shark. Oh, you're very kind. Thank you. I appreciate it. Gene Wood, thank you for joining us at home. And the opening poem sent in by Paul Hodgson of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, watching on WBZ TV, Channel 4. Thank you, Paul. Now let's open the board and get to those cards. Go ahead. Janice, hello a minute. Here come our card sharks. Diane Meyer, our champion. Hi, Diane. Diane, what's you again? Remind us about you.
Sure. My name is Diane Clyer. I'm from Northridge, California. I moved out to California 9 months ago with my husband and children from Cedarhurst, New York.
Yeah, well, sounds like you miss Cedarhurst.
I do. I miss my friends.
Enjoying it out here, though?
I'm loving it.
Hope you're enjoying it with us.
I'm having a great time.
I can't say as I blame her. She's won $4,200 in cash.
I hope to win
I'd be
more.
having fun. That's the way to feel. Jillian Snyder wants to stop you. Hi, Jillian. Good to see you again. And again, a
Thank
reminder
you.
about you.
My name is Jillian Snyder. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, but I'm a student at Northwestern University near Chicago, and I'm a member of Delta 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 sorority, and I'm a Hellraiser.
A Hellraiser? Is that in quotes?
That's
or
my elected position in the sorority.
You are the elected Hellraiser. What does
got
the
it.
elected Hellraiser do?
Raise hell.
Oh, need I have asked? You both got the cards at the beginning of the
we
match?
did. Yes, we
We
did.
will pick up where we left off. We play the best 2 games out of 3, and as we left off, Jillian raised a little of you know what by winning the first game of the match. So we have dealt out the same 2 decks of cards with the next cards off the top of the deck, starting game 2 with a question to Diane. Diane, we asked 100 people across the country, is inflation keeping you broke? How many people said inflation is keeping them broke?
Keeping me broke. I'm trying to buy a house, and I just can't do it. I would say that would be around 68 people would say inflation.
68 out of 100 said, yeah, inflation's keeping them broke. Higher or lower?
I think that's going to be an even higher number because inflation is just getting to everyone, and everyone's having problems paying for what they need to pay for.
So you say higher, and if it is higher, you'll play your cards. If not, it'll be Diane with hers, and the actual number of people who said inflation is keeping them broke is 65. Not higher, just a little lower. So it is Diane with the first crack of the cards, trying to work her way across the end, calling high or low.
Sing an 8.
Starting with an 8.
Change that card.
You win the question, you can change the base card. And a good change with a 4.
Higher.
Higher than a 4. A jack. You'll see it lower. A 6.
Three.
Not going to try to run him. We'll move over the freeze bar. Protect that position. Can't take you back any further. Of course, that keeps Jillian away from her cards. Jillian, now, as you know, Italian men are famous for pinching women. But turnabout is fair play, so we sent our man on the street to Rome, where he asked 100 Italian men, has a woman ever pinched your bottom? How many Italian men said a woman has pinched their bottom?
I think that's going to be a pretty low number because even though things are changing these days, I think it's still the men who are going to do the pinching. I'd say that's only going to be about 12.
12 Italian men said they've been pinched.
Higher because I know myself I've pinched some men's tushies.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
going to be higher. Absolutely.
You are a pincher?
I'm a pincher.
Join Jillian with her official capacity in the club. 12 and higher. The actual number of Italian men who said a woman has pinched their bottom is 58. 58. Now Diane could change the 6, winning the question to a 9. Not a good chance.
Lower.
Lower than a 9. Oh, no, an 8 is not lower. Stays at that base card, and Jillian gets a free chance at a 9.
Okay. I'm going to try lower.
Lower than a 9. Yes, a 5.
Higher.
Risking it higher. A king.
Lower.
Lower than the king. An 8.
Three.
Not going to try to turn that last card over. She'll freeze. Jillian needs 1 card. Diane needs 2. We'll have question 3 right after this. Well, with game 1 going to the challenger in the middle of game 2. Now it's Diane needing 2 cards. Jillian needs 1. Question 3 goes to Diane. Diane, we asked 100 high school teachers, can your students read and write as well as you could when you were their age? How many teachers said yes, their students can read and write as well as they could?
Well, unfortunately, today the school system is not the greatest. And I know from experience, my sister is a teacher, and the children today in school are just not what they used to be. I'm going to say that's going to be low 43.
43 out of 100 say they can read and write as well as in their day.
I think I agree with her about the school system, and I know that when I've been in classes where teachers have often said that things are not the same at all when they were growing up. I think it's going to be even lower.
Even lower than that?
Yeah.
You have less faith. Reading and writing, you would think, would be the basics. Let's find out. 43 and lower. The actual number of teachers who said their students can read and write as well as they could is 17. Boy, is that lower. Depressingly so.
Change that card.
Jillian with a big change, the 8, and it becomes a 4.
Higher.
If this is higher, we have a new champion. No, not higher, it's the same. Diane is still in it with a free chance off the 9.
Lower.
Lower, she says. She's right with a 5.
Higher.
If it's higher, she ties up the match. Yes! So, the cards are turned, and we have a tie. Each player with one game and $100 in this match, and that means we set up with a tiebreaker. 3 cards up there, 3 questions here, and it goes down to the wire. Jillian, we asked 100 bachelors. If you knew a beautiful woman was only dating you to make another man jealous, would you go out with her anyway? How many bachelors would date the beautiful woman anyway?
I don't think that's going to be a very high number because I think that bachelors, although she may be very pretty, I think they're still interested in having an honest relationship. I think that's going to be kind of low. I'd say about 43.
43 out of 100 would date the beautiful woman anyway, even if she was only dating him to make another man jealous.
I think that's going to be a little bit higher.
Higher than that. Did Gene Wood's dirty laugh have anything to do with that about honest relationship? He'll take the beautiful woman. 43 and higher. The actual number of bachelors who would date a beautiful woman even if they knew she was only trying to make another man jealous is 39. Not higher, a little lower. Jillian in the tiebreaker gets that first crack at the cards as she starts with a 9.
Change that card.
Big change with just 3 cards. A king.
Lower.
Lower than a king. A 5.
Higher.
Again, she's on the verge of victory. Can she do it? Yes! Jillian, the new champion. So, Diane, we have to say goodbye, but $4,300 a profitable stay. Thank you, Diane.
So
I hope
much.
you enjoy it out here in California. Diane Clier, Jillian Snyder, come on down here with me. Congratulations. Did you think you were going to get here after that double 4?
I wasn't sure anymore.
I said you looked a little deflated there for a moment.
I got a little worried.
You picked yourself up and came back to win. Jillian's got $200 for winning the match, going for a lot more with the money cards if you've cut them, have you?
Yes, I have.
Let's get over and do it right now, Jillian. Turn around and hop up here. Here we go. And those cards that you cut are waiting. And we're going to give you $200 of new money. We'll give you 3 cards on the bottom line. Of course, it's your decision how you bet them. When you move up to the second level, we'll add another $200 of betting money and 3 more cards. Remember, the minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet, where you must risk at least half. And now here, that double 4 hurt you over there, but the double won't hurt you now. You're playing by yourself, so we'll just carry it over. You don't lose with the double.
Okay.
Good luck. Here's
Thank you.
$200. And you can
Okay,
change
let's
the base
change
card.
Come on.
All righty. Thank you, Lois. Jillian starts with 200 and a jack.
Okay, I'm going to keep that card. I'm going to keep that card and go 100 lower.
She likes the jack. $100 that this card is lower. And it is. With a 9, you're up to 300.
I'm just going to go 50 lower.
$50. Minimum bet. Lower.
Ooh.
Worth $50, though. 250 and an
All
8.
of it lower.
This will get it to 500 if this card is lower. And it is with a great card as well.
Great card.
Up
Okay.
goes the 3, giving you the other 200.
I want to keep that card and go all the way higher.
Double to nothing. $1,400 if it's higher. Yes. In the middle.
Okay. I just want to go $50 higher.
$50 higher. She says higher. The audience is saying lower. Is she right? No, the audience is right. But a better card now with $1,350.
Okay, I'd like to go 800 higher.
This time they're all in agreement saying higher, $800 worth. And a big 8.
All right.
21.50 and an 8.
Okay, put it up there. All of it lower.
$2,150 more if this is lower. And it is for $4,300. Yeah. Oh, those 3 aces were beautiful, Julie. You gave them a good set. 200 in the game. That's $4,500 for Jillian Snyder, a fine champion. We'll be back with her and a new challenger in a moment, right after this. Jillian, we're happy for you.
Thank
Two brand new decks of cards. Here comes the new challenger on Card Shark. Bob Nunu. Hello, Bob. Bob Nunu.
That's right.
Nice to meet you, Bob. Tell us about you.
Well, my name's Bob Nunu. I'm from Philadelphia, and I'm a lawyer. I've been practicing attorney for 6 years, and now I'm out here in California doing some writing.
Good. Attorney Nunu, huh?
That's right.
You get kidded about your name?
Oh, no, Jim, never.
No. Nice to have you here, Bob.
Thanks,
You
Jim.
cut your cards?
Yes, I did.
Then here we go. Starting the best 2 out of 3 with a question to Jillian, the champion. Jillian, we asked 100 married men. When you romance your wife, you usually think about other women. How many men confessed when they romance their wife? They usually do think about other women.
I don't think that's going to be a very high number because I think, obviously, it depends on how long you're married. But I think that still, when they're romancing their wives, they're really involved with their wives, and that's the person they love, and that's the person they want to turn on. So I think it's going to be pretty low. I'd say 37.
37. Jillian is a romantic and they think about the wife. But how many think about other women, Bob?
Well, I know that my wife will be watching this program when it airs, and I really believe that the answer is lower.
Lower than that.
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe. 37 and lower. The actual number of men who confessed when they romance their wife, they usually do think about other women, is 11. Bob, you're right. It is lower. Well, you both had the right idea. Bob had the right number, and he starts with a 7.
Change that card, please.
See that near middle card? A good
Queen.
change.
All right. Lower, please.
Lower than a queen. No. Not a queen. So lucky with the cards, and Jillian with a free chance at a 6.
Okay, I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 6. No. Also a double. We'll fill in the spaces, and question 2 goes to Bob. Bob, we asked 100 women. Be honest. When you hear a juicy piece of gossip about someone you don't like, do you ever make it a whole lot juicier when you tell it to someone else?
Oh.
How many women admitted when they hear gossip about someone they don't like, they do make it a lot juicier when they pass it on?
Probably the stuff you hear isn't even half of the truth. So if you embroider it a bit, you're probably closer to it. So I think that about 72.
72. Embroider a bit, as Bob put it, Jillian.
I think that I agree that it's. I mean, I know I exaggerate on stories if I don't like a person. That happens a lot. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I still think it might be a little lower.
A little lower than that. The actual number of women who make gossip juicier when telling about someone else they don't like is 26. It's lower. Jillian has it. Yeah. Jillian, you got a 6.
Change that card.
Do you prove it?
Yes.
Oh,
One
yes,
jack.
lower.
Lower than a jack. A 4.
Higher.
Higher than a 4. A king.
Lower.
Lower than the king. A 3.
Lower.
This would be the game on a $500 run if this is higher. It is. Jillian gets the bonus for running them all at one time. So 500, 100 in the game, a $600 game for the champion. Nicely done. And just like that, the champion goes over the $5,000 mark, and most importantly, has game 1 here in this match. Same 2 decks, starting game 2 with you, Jillian. Jillian, we asked 100 marriage counselors. Generally speaking, do young couples today expect marriage to be a lot easier than it really is? How many marriage counselors said young couples today do expect marriage to be a lot easier than it really is?
I think that's going to be a pretty low number because I think that the young people today are pretty realistic about the way life is, and it's not the old-fashioned people sometimes have more of a romantic view of what's going to work out. They don't realize there are going to be fights and problems and so forth. So I think it's going to be pretty low. I'd say about 26.
26 out of 100. Bob, what do you think?
I think that with the high divorce rate, it would even be lower than that.
Even lower. Even lower. How many marriage counselors said young couples today expect marriage to be a lot easier than it really is? You said 26.
I think fewer than that.
Fewer than that. Okay. I just thought because you said with a high divorce rate, you might be thinking the other way. Let's find out. 26 and lower. The actual number of marriage counselors who said couples today expect marriage to be a lot easier than it really is 92. Not lower, it is higher. That's what I thought you were driving at there, Bob. But Jillian gets it, and Jillian starts with a king.
Lower.
Lower than a king. A 2.
Higher.
Higher than a 2. A 9. I'm going to try to run them twice in a row. Fascinating poll. 92 out of 100 thought people go into it with exactly the wrong attitude. Bob, we asked 100 people over the age of 90. From what you've seen during your lifetime, has the world changed for the better or for the worse? How many 90-year-olds said, just like our audience said, the world has changed for the worse?
Well, I think obviously the answer is going to be that a lot of them do think that, but probably not as many as you think, because as you get older, I think you gain in wisdom. You understand that the problems of the world just keep recurring. So I think it would be about 61.
61 out of 100 say the world is worse.
I think that that's going to be even a little higher, because I think that the older people do see a lot more problems today than when they were growing
You say
up.
higher. The actual number of 90-year-olds who said from what they've seen, the world has changed for the worse is 60, not higher. Bob's got it, and he just missed the $500 bonus by one. Bob needs this game, and he's got a jack.
Lower, please.
Lower than a jack. Yes, 7.
Higher.
Lifting it higher, and right with another jack.
Lower.
Lower than a jack. A 6.
Higher.
Oh, he's going to try to go all the way. Tie it up, and a run.
Yes!
And both players with a $500 run. We have a tie. Tiebreaker coming at you right after this. Thank you, Gina. Maybe you'll be as good a player as these two. Both of them with a $500 run. With a tie, we have the tiebreaker. And we start the tiebreaker with a question to Jillian. Jillian, we asked 100 men, could you give up sex completely and still enjoy life? How many men claim they could give up sex and still enjoy life?
Well,
You're giggling, Jillian.
I'd say I'm sure that everyone agrees there are a lot of other important things in life, but I think out of
Name
100...
2. No, I'm sorry. How many men claim they could give up sex and still enjoy life? Give it
Okay,
up
I
completely.
see. Okay, I think that that's going to be, although they say there are other important things in life, that very few men would say that life would still be just the same. So I think it's going to be pretty low then. I'd say about 23.
23 out of 100 say they could give up sex and continue to enjoy life completely, Bob.
I know a few guys that have done it, and I think that it's probably lower.
Lower than that. They were not the happiest men you've
No,
ever met.
very close.
23 and lower. The actual number of men who claim they could give up sex and still enjoy life is 18. You're right, Bob. Bob knew those grumpy people, and he wins the question. Harding with a 10.
Oh, change that card, please.
Big change with 3 cards up here. Oh, an 8.
Higher.
Higher than that middle 8? No. Oh, if he had called it the other way, he was on the verge of victory. Jillian's still in it with a 5.
Higher.
Higher than a 5. No. A double. We'll go to question 2 in the tiebreaker. Bob, there's a commercial on television now that shows a chimpanzee changing the oil in a car. You've probably seen it. Well, we asked 100 people if you could cut your car repair bills in half by going to a garage staffed by chimp mechanics. Would you do it? How many people said for half price they would have their cars serviced by chimps? I think mine already is, as a matter of fact. Sorry, Doc.
That's carrying the idea of Grease Monkey a little far, I think.
Good line.
I think even to save a buck, you'd really not care very much about your car, so I would say only about 11 people.
11 would have it serviced by a chimp.
I agree with him, but I think that's going to be higher.
A little higher than that. The actual number of people who said for half price they would have their cars serviced by chimps is 34. It's higher. Jillian has it. Jillian, you've got a 5.
I'm going to keep it and go higher.
Laying it higher. An 8.
Lower.
Well, the championship is in lower. Yeah. Jillian made the right call, and that ace did it for her. Bob, we have to say goodbye. We thank you. Good sailor with one win, $600.
Thank you very
I
much.
hope you enjoy it out here in California. Bob.
Thank you.
Bob Nunu. Jillian, come down here with me. Adding another 100 already to $5,200. We'll be back with this fine champion in a moment. Right after this commercial message, there's a little shift coming across the home. Well, we don't have time now for Jillian to play those money cards. She'll do that at the top of our next show. We would like to thank some of the people in our studio audience. Some joined us from Cleveland, Ohio. Others from the NBC affiliate in Manila in the Philippines. We are going to show you, I must say, that we're going to show you our handsome audience. And when we said they're going to be on television, they all spruced up beautifully. So we'll show them right now. See you next time on Card Charge.
Game Show Network. A winner every 30 minutes, guaranteed.
has changed